Well, this is our details coming to you from the protest going on right now in FCT and other parts of Nigeria. But then let's begin from Nyanya Maraba axis of the Nassarawa state that shared border with the FCT. Well, in FCT, the protesters were asked to protest only at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, but this is Nassarawa state where angry protesters are burning things. You can see the fire, you can see the smoke. The camera can barely capture what is happening. You can see that the video is not clear because people are running. Even our cameramen are also running because of the angry protesters and the fire that is being set right now. This is Maraba Nyanya axis of Nassarawa state. Well, you can see if you have a clear vision, you can actually see how things are being burned, road being blocked, and people are stranded. Well, it's so unfortunate that some policemen who are actually on duty somewhere around the checkpoint axis of the Mararaba area have now left the place because of the protest. Let's move away from Abuja and take you to Edo State right now. You can see the people on the street, protesters on the street of Edo State. Well, in Edo State, when you talk about protest takes a different turn in Edo State. If you want to look at history, especially what happened during the EndSARS, you can tell that protest in Edo State is not something that anyone would ever pray for. But then, this protest so far is peaceful, and of course, the police officer is addressing the people because what they want is that the protest should be peaceful. And as a matter of fact, so far so good. The protest is been peaceful, except for some other places where we heard that. Well, we've not been there, but we heard that there are some form of violence, especially when the security agents are stopping protesters from getting to certain areas. But this now in Edo State, we've not heard of any violence, and the people are peaceful, and protesters are actually spelling out what they really wanted. But then this is Abuja, Nigeria, somewhere around the Three Arms Zone, where you have the National Assembly, the Supreme Court, and of course, where you also have a way leading to the villa. Well, protesters have been thrown tear gas here. They couldn't move further. They left the Moshood Abiola Stadium, marching to the Eagle Square, where they initially wanted to start the protest from, except for the court injunction that came from the Minister of FCT. The Minister of FCT have actually said, well, the court has given an injunction that the protest should also not exceed the Moshood Abiola Stadium. But then the barrister in charge of the protest in Abuja has said, well, they cannot confine them just inside the stadium to protest. And they marched from Moshood Abiola Stadium right heading to the Eagle Square. But then we are accosted around very close to the Eagle Square. You can see tear gas. Tear gas, that is tear gas. The smoke you are seeing is the smoke of tear gas coming from the officials. This is coming from the security agents, the police to be specific. This is tear gas. You can see angry protesters saying they cannot see anymore. Well, you can see that the visual is not so clear because it is something that a lot of people are running, and the media is not being spared by this tear gas that is being thrown at the protesters. Some persons don't really want the media to cover it, so Oweleke TV was also one of the targets as tear gas was being thrown. You can see police officers throwing tear gas, but some very, very funny things happening here where protesters are picking tear gas being thrown at them and thrown back at the security officials. Oh, you can see some protesters can barely see. This is one of the tear gas that was thrown at the protesters. You can see them holding it. This protester actually caught it. Some were actually caught and thrown back at the security agencies. This is report coming from the protest going on right now in FCT, Edo State, and Nassarawa State. More details still coming on your way. Keep